All right. Good day, everyone. We are the group number 2 of CDI 108 Technical English Legal Forms. So we are now presenting our report. Next slides, please. So good English grammar in technical writing course. It's important because it is not only the study of words, forms, and functions in a sentence, but it is also putting words together into sentences and sentences into paragraphs so that one will able to express a complete thought or an ideas. Good grammar help us to communicate clearly. Grammar is the key for a clear communication. The better the grammar, the clearer the message. So in this subject, CDI 108, good English grammar is one of the importance of creating a report. Sinasabi lang dito na kailangan sa paggawa ng writing or paggawa ng report is kailangan may katangian tayo na meron tayong good English grammar sapagkat ang isang pagkakaroon ng good English grammar ay ito ay isang rason kung bakit nagkakaroon ng clear communication and mas maayos na pagkakaintindihan. Next slide, please. Writing. Most indispensable skills that learners should develop. These skills is needed in all types of professions. Proficiency in writing required uniformed personnel such as police officers, and they will need it in creating reports and their day-to-day activity. So sinasabi dito na ang writing ay kinakailangan natin, lalo na tayong mga criminologists, lalo na yung mga magpapatuloy para tahakin yung pagiging pulis, sapagkat ang writing ay isa sa mga required, lalo na sa mga police officers, sapagkat ito ay ginagamit nila para makagawa sila ng mga police report or kailangan din nila para sa mga para dun sa day-to-day activity ng isang pulis. Next slide, please. So we are now going to chapter 1, Fundamentals of Report Writing. First, report writing is the creation of a structured document that precisely describes and examines an event or occurrence. And report writing is short, sharp, and written for a specific audience and purpose. So yung report writing daw po is a structured document na nagdi-describe or nag-e-examine ng isang pangyayari or isang event or occurrence, at kinakailangan ang report writing ay maiksi, sharp, and kailangan ito ay written, at ang report writing ay may specific audience at a specific purpose. And next one is police report. It is a chronological or step-by-step account of an incident that transpired in a given time. It may be written or oral, prepared by anyone in the department from chief to the patrolman. A document that details all of the facts, circumstances, and timeline of events surrounding an incident. So, ang police report daw ay chronological or step-by-step account of an incident na nangyayari sa isang oras or sa isang date. So, ang police report ay written or pwede ding oral, pwede ding nakasulat or pwedeng in oral, and kailangan ang police report ay inihahanda or ginagawa ng isang pulis na kasama sa isang departamento, at pwede itong gawin ng isang patrolman or ang pinaka-chief ng isang pulis. Next slide, please. Importance and purposes of police writing. To serve as official documents, a permanent record of an incident in the community, serves as records for police administrator in planning, directing, and organizing duties and functions, to compile statistical information and identify problems in the community, to facilitate investigation, prepare and defend court cases, including prosecution of criminals, could be a basis for research, to identify training needs of the members of the PNP, and reflects the competence and personality of the police writer regarding his written work, or pwede rin gamitin to sa promotion. So ang importance daw and purposes ng isang police report ay pwede itong gawing official document and permanent record sa isang nangyaring insidente sa isang komunidad. Pwede din itong gawing record ng isang police administrator para sa mga susunod na planning, directing, and organization duties and functions. And kino-compile din ang isang police report para sa statistical information, para ma-identify din kung ano yung karaniwan or laging nagaganap na problema sa isang komunidad. And to facilitate investigation, prepare and defend court cases including prosecution of criminals. So ang isang police report daw ay pwedeng gamitin para sa isang investigation at pwede din itong gamitin para sa isang court hearing, or pwede din itong gamitin para mapakulong ang isang kriminal. And could be a basis for a research. So ginagamit din ang police report writing or ang police report para sa mga pag-aaral or sa mga susunod na pag-aaral about sa mga problema na nagaganap sa ating komunidad. And to identify training needs of the members of the PNP. So isa daw ang police report para malaman kung ano yung mga kailangang kagamitan or kailangan pang mga equipment ng isang members ng Philippine National Police, and reflects the competence and personality of the police writer regarding his written work. So, ang isang police report ay ginagamit din para ang isang police ay ma-promote sa kanyang rango, sapagkat pag nakitaan ka ng galing sa paggawa ng police report, magre-reflect ito ng personality ng isang police or ng isang member of the PNP. Next slide, please. So, characteristic of police report writing. Accurate and specific, or accuracy. So, is one of the essential qualities of police report writing. Literally, accuracy means an exact conformity to the fact or errorless. Use a specific word in conveying ideas, and the report must be detailed. So, isa daw sa mga karakteristik ng police report writing ay ang pagiging accurate and specific, or accuracy. Sapagkat isa ito sa essential na qualities ng police report. Dapat ang kailangan ang police report ay exact, specific, and kailangan nakabase ito sa facts. And kailangan ng isang police report ay errorless. And kailangan pagdating sa police report, gagamit lang tayo ng specific word para hindi malito yung mga audience natin, or para hindi maghalo-halo yung idea kung ano yung pinaparating natin na idea, and para mas konektado yung purpose and maintindihan ng ating mga audience. And especially, ang police report ay kailangan detalyado, sapagkat kailangan ang police report ay laging nakabase sa facts or truth, at kailangan laging ito ay makatotohanan. And next one is brief and concise, or conciseness. Police report should be brief and concise. Elimination of unnecessary words. Most sentences in police reports are 12 to 15 words, and avoid redundant ideas. So, next one, kailangan ang police report daw ay brief and concise, or kailangan may tinatawag na conciseness. So, ang police report ay kailangan brief and concise. And kailangan, pag gumagawa ng police report, kailangan natin mag-eliminate ng mga unnecessary words or mga hindi naman kailangan na salita, or mga salita na pandagdag lang or panggulo lang sa mga isipan ng audience. At sinasabi dito na ang karaniwang sentence ay binubuo ng 12 to 15 words. And kailangan sa police report, para maging brief and concise, kailangan i-avoid natin or iwasan natin yung mga redundant ideas para mas klaro sa audience or sa mga readers natin, para mas brief and concise. So third one is clear and complete. So clear and complete, or completeness. Police report should be clear and complete. Your report must answer the 5 W's and 1 H. So yun nga, kailangan ang police report ay clear and complete, or kailangan malinaw ito sa audience natin, at kailangan kompleto yung mga ideas or kompleto yung mga pangyayari para lubos na maunawaan ng ating mga audience. and para lalo nilang maintindihan kung ano yung purpose ng police report. At kailangan daw, para maging clear and complete ang isang police report, kailangan ang police report na ginagawa natin ay sumasagot sa katanungan ng 5 W's and 1 H. Ano nga ba yung 5 W's and 1 H? Yung 5 W's is yung what, where, who, where, and when. And yung 1 H yung how. And next one, factual and objectives. The report contains only facts, not hearsay. Report must be based on facts. Facts is a thing that has actually happened or that is really true. You must always remember that there are always two sides of every story and both sides have a right to be heard. You must not be influenced by emotion, personal prejudice, or opinion. So, kailangan din sa police report na maging factual or objectives sapagkat kailangan ang isang police report ay nakabase sa facts at hindi lang sa mga sabi-sabi or sa mga chismis, and kailangan ang facts ay makatotohanan, and kailangan hindi lang ito basta-basta nanggaling lang sa iba't ibang tao. Kailangan may mga facts na magpapatibay na totoo tong mga nakasaad sa police report. And yung facts daw, yun yung isang bagay na totoong nangyari and totoong talaga na walang halong chismis or hearsay. And kailangan daw paggawa ng police report ay kailangan alamin mo kung ano yung both side ng mga istorya, and kailangan maparinggan mo yung both side para hindi ka magde-decide, and kailangan hindi ka bias dito, and kailangan neutral ka. And kailangan hindi bilang isang pulis or bilang isang tagagawa ng police report, kailangan hindi ka nagpapa-impluwensya sa sarili mong emosyon and yung sarili mong opinion. Kailangan nakabase ka lang dun sa facts. Next slide, please. Next one is well-organized and grammatically correct. Follow the standard format, must be in a chronological order in writing of facts, and use official font size which is Arial, and font size is 12, and use format, spacing, and margin. So, pag gumagawa daw ng isang police report, kailangan well-organized and grammatically correct. Sa paggawa ng police report, may sinusunod na standard format, and kailangan chronological order yung pagsulat mo ng facts or mga events or ideas. Kailangan sunod-sunod yung mga pangyayari para hindi malito yung mga audience and para hindi sila maguluhan kung ano bang purpose ng police report. And sa paggawa ng police report, may sinusunod na official font style, yun yung Arial, and ang kailangan na size noon or ang official font size is 12. And sa paggawa ng police report, may sinusunod na format, spacing, and margin. And kailangan grammatically correct din ang paggawa ng police report sapagkat pag grammatically correct, lubos na mauunawaan ng audience at hindi sila magkakagulo-gulo or hindi sila maguguluhan kung ano ba yung gustong ipahiwatig ng police report. So next is strategies in writing good report. Check or recheck first whether notes on gathered facts are already complete and organized. So sinasabi dito na kailangan para makabuo ka ng isang good police report, kailangan may time kang i-recheck or i-reobserve yung ginawa mong police report. Kailangan mong i-check kung kailangan mong i-check kung totoo ba yung mga nailagay mo dong facts, at kailangan mong i-check kung organized or complete or kung kompleto ba yung ginawa mong police report. Next one, if notes on gathered facts are insufficient, go back in the process of gathering more facts related to the situations. So kailangan para makabuo ka ng isang good police report, kailangan kung nasa isip mo parang kulang pa yung ginawa mong police report or kulang pa sa ideas or kulang pa yung facts, kailangan bumalik ka sa process or bumalik ka sa proseso na mag-gather ka ulit ng other facts na magpapatibay doon sa situations or ideas na nakasaad sa police reports. Next one is make an outline of the report, basing from completely gathered facts. So yun nga, yung kanina ko pa sinasabi na kailangan para maging isang good police report, yung ginagawa mong police report, kailangan naka-base lang ito or yung mga nag-gathered mong ideas is naka-base lang sa facts or sa katotohanan. And next one is use the chronological order of writing and presenting facts and ideas in the written report. Yun nga, kailangan sunod-sunod yung facts or ideas or yung mga pangyayari sa pagpepresenta mo ng facts sa iyong police report para maging good police report ito. And next one is the outline of the report should basically answer the 5 W's and 1 H. Katulad nga nung sinabi ko kanina, para maging isang good police report, yung ginawa mong police report, kailangan yung police report na ginawa mo ay sumasagot sa katanungan ng 5 W's and 1 H. And then, prepare a report that could either be simple, brief, complex, or in memorandum form, depending on its required format. So, kailangan ang police report para maging good police report, kailangan ito ay simple, brief, complex, or mabilis maunawaan ng mga audience para masigit nilang maintindihan kung ano ba yung purpose ng police report mo. Next slide, please. Types of report writers. Writers who write without thinking are those who do not bother or to gather facts and infos to support the written reports. So may mga type or kinds ng isang report writer. Unang-una yung mga writers who write without thinking. Ito yung mga basta lang makapagsulat, and pag nakapagsulat na sila, hindi sila nag-iisip kung tama ba or kung order ba or tama ba yung sinulat nilang police report. They are those who not keen in observing and gathering supplement the written output. So ito yung mga pag nakapaggawa na sila ng police report, hindi na sila bumabalik sa proseso na mag-gather ulit ng ibang facts or ibang pangyayari para suportahan yung ginawa nilang police report. And next one, writers who write and think at the same time. These are those writers who gather information and facts and put them in their work. In addition, they review and verify their work, but they are in a hurry to write. Therefore, the gathered information are not properly documented. So, may mga katangian ng isang report writers na nagagather sila ng information and facts and pinagsasama-sama nila ito and nire-review nila ito at bine-verify, pero sila ay nagmamadali or sila ay in a hurry. Kaya ang kinakalabasan ay not properly documented yung ginawa nilang police report. Next slide, please. The writer would think first and write afterwards. These writers are those who gather specific data, facts, and evidences carefully before they write. And they are keen in observing and gathering information to back up their report. So ito naman, isang good characteristic ng isang police report writer ay yung nag-iisip muna siya bago siya magpatuloy o bago niya isulat o yung gagawin niyang police report. So yun yung mga writer na nag-iisip muna or nagagather muna ng information and facts bago nila isulat or gawing written form yung kanilang police report. And these are the writers who present reports that are free from biases, prejudice, subjectivity, and errors in any form, and thus they submit with 100% accuracy. So ito daw yung mga reporters or report writers na gumagawa ng report na walang kinakampihan or neutral sa mga pangyayari and hindi nagpapadala sa kanilang emotion or sa kanilang personal opinion. Itong mga writer na ito ay nakakasubmit ng report 100% accurate. Next slide, please. So, fundamental styles of police report writing. First, perspective. refers to the point of view from which the investigators present the findings report based from gathered evidence. So, yung perspective daw, ito yung point of view ng isang investigator para mas maayos yung police report writing na kanilang ginagawa. And selection of information relates to the gathered data in connection with how present this report. So kailangan, pag gagawa ka ng police report writing, kailangan marunong kang mag-select or marunong kang mag-choose kung ano yung facts na kailangang isama mo dun sa police report na gagawin mo. And organization is the process of how a report is put together after the specific details of facts have been gathered. So kailangan, pag gagawa ka ng police report writing, kailangan ito ay organized and kailangan ito ay sama-sama at sunod-sunod para hindi malito yung audience natin at para hindi sila maguluhan sa purpose ng ating police report. Next slide, please. So, basic requirements of police report. The 5 W's and 1 H are the most important question that an investigator must take into consideration. So, number 1 in 5 W's is who. These questions answer all about the persons involved in the investigation, their complete and correct names, and their exact addresses and contact numbers. So, isa daw sa basic requirements of police report ay kailangan ang police report mo ay sumasagot sa katanungan ng 5 W's and 1 H. So, ang una sa isa sa mga 5 W's ay ang who. Ang who ay ang katanungan na sumasagot sa pangalan ng involved sa isang investigation o isang pangyayari at kailangan sa isang police report ay kailangan nakasaad dito ang complete and exact addresses and contact number ng isang tao na konektado sa gagawin mong police report. So example questions nito ay who is the culprit, who are the victim, who is the aggravated party, and who are the witnesses, who are the complainants, who discovered the crime, and many more. Next slide, please. Next one is what. This question answered about what offenses are committed, what kind of evidence was retrieved, what properties are stolen, and what are the possible motives of the crime. So, ang next one is what, na kailangan ng police report ay sumasagot sa katanungang what or ano. So, kailangan dito mapakita mo kung ano ba ang offense na nangyari sa isang crime, ano bang crime ang nakumit ng isang suspect, ano ba yung mga evidences na retrieve sa isang crime scene, and ano ba yung mga nawala or ano ba yung mga nakuha sa isang crime scene, at especially kung ano yung motibo ng isang crime. So example questions dito ay what law was violated, what did the suspect do to the victim, what was the motive of the crime, what are the elements of the crime, and many more. Next slide, please. Next one is where. These questions answers about the geographical location of the crime scene, the property or the evidence that are related to the incident. So dito naman, kailangan ng police report ay sumasagot sa katanungan ng where or kung saan naganap ang isang crime at kung saan natagpuan ang isang evidence at kung saan nangyari at kung saan nakita yung suspect or kung saan natagpuan yung bangkay or yung victim. So example questions dito sa tanong na ito are where was the crime committed? Where did the crime take place? Where is the suspect now? Where are the evidence of the crime? And many more. Next slide, please. Next is when. This question answers about the exact time and date when the offender committed, the properties found, and the suspect apprehended. So dito naman, kailangan ng police report ay sumasagot sa katanungan ng kailan. So kailangan ang police report ay binubuo ng or sumasagot sa tanong kailan ba nangyari ang isang krimen, anong oras nangyari ang isang krimen, anong oras or kailan na-apprehend yung isang suspect, anong oras natagpuan o anong araw natagpuan ng isang victim. Example questions dito ay, when was the exact time that the crime was committed? When did the crime happen? When was the body of the crime recovered? When was the suspect arrested? When did the police arrive? And many more. Next slide, please. So next one is why. Motivated the offense or the crime. So kailangan ng isang police report ay binubuo or sumasagot sa katanungan why or bakit. So kailangan ng police report ay sumasagot sa katanungan bakit nagawa ang krimen, bakit nangyari ang gantong krimen, bakit pinatay ang gantong biktima, bakit nagawa ito ng suspect, and the example question in this questions are, why did the suspect commit the crime? Why did the witness report the crime? Why did the suspect attack the victims? And why did you not report the crime? And many more. So next question, next slide please. Sorry. So last one is 1H. So how? These questions answer the general matter on which the crime was committed. So kailangan ng isang police report or isang good police report ay sumasagot sa katanungan ng how or paano. So kailangan ang isang police report ay binubuo o sumasagot sa katanungan ng paano nangyari ang krimen, paano nagawa, paano na isagawa ng suspect ang krimen, paano nangyari or paano paano nangyari or paano naisagawa yung isang crime. So example questions of that question are, how was the offense or the crime committed? How did the policeman respond? How was it reported? How much money was stolen? And many more. So I think this is the final slide of the chapter 1. So let's proceed to chapter 2 by Ken David Kahilig. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening. Ken?
All right, chapter 2, classes, categories, and types of reports. 1, technical reports. So we had here classes of reports. We had technical reports from the title itself. These are reports dealing with technical specialized subjects. And also we had here problem determining reports. These are written reports identifying the existence of causes of certain problems. From the title itself, from the determining reports, we are making reports to identify or the cause of problems like causes of juvenile delinquency, causes of drug addiction, and causes of human trafficking. The next one is the problem solution reports. Yun nga, nasabi ko, we are looking for cause or reason why there is a problem. And number 3, which is problem solution reports. These are written reports identifying the process and solution of certain problems. Example of these are case studies on presenting measure against juvenile delinquency, drug addiction, and human trafficking. For fact-finding reports, these are written reports on the methods of logical gathering and presentation of data. Example research about facts and figures of terrorism, drug trafficking, and human trafficking. So pag sinabi natin facts, finding reports, lahat ng mga totoong pangyayari na nag-gathered mo, na na-investigate mo, so gagawa ka ngayon ng isang reporting regarding sa lahat ng information na nag-gathered mo. Especially sa mga important details. Kailangan ipasa mo yun. Kailangan ilagay mo yun mismo sa gagawin mong report. Next, 5 performance reports. Next part. 5 performance reports. These are reports referring to information on the status of an activity or operation within a unit or organization. Dito naman, when we say performance reports, these reports are referring to all informations. Yun na nga, sinabi dito yung mga activities na ginagawa ng isang organization. For example, sa isang police operation, sa isang raid, yan, o any kind of activities that perform a police officer. So pag sinabi nating performance report, ito yung mga report na ginagawa every time may mga activity, operation na ginagawa sa isang unit or ginagawa sa organization. Next categories of reports. 1, operation reports. Operation reports. When we say operation reports, ito yung mga reports na tungkol sa mga police incident when we conducting investigation, pag may identification of person o pag may inaresto and other miscellaneous of reports for routine operation of police organization. Next, internal business reports. When we say internal business reports, ito yung mga report on financial, personnel purchase, equipment, property, maintenance, and general correspondence, which are important in agency or the organization's management. Next sa summary, ito naman yung mga reports na kung saan, kaya nga sinabing summary, and it means furnish for the necessity of the solution of crime, accident, and other police administration related problems. Next. Of course, we have 2 general types of reports. We have the basic and investigative. The first one is the basic, is also known as information reports. When we say informal reports, kadalasan siyang ginagamit with ordinary miscellaneous incidents, usually in letter or memorandum form. Basically, these reports contain the genetic format na kung saan ang laman ng isang basic or ng initial basic or informal report, meron tayong headings, addressee. It means addressee kung paano natin ibibigay yung letter and also have the text of the body properly and the name of the writer. While in number 2, when we say investigative or formal reports, these are reports that cover all the exact and exhaustive narration of facts. Ito yung report na ginagamit natin kapag may mga hawak tayong kaso kung saan kailangan natin gumawa ng reports. At ang investigative report are classified into 3. So what are the different parts of investigate reports? We have initial or advance, progress or follow-up, and the last one is the final or choose or closing reports. Next part. Specific types of police reports. This is a written report done within 24 hours after an important incident. Ginagawa ang spot report within 24 hours kapag pagkatapos ng isang insidente. Itong report na ito ay kailangan ma-inform agad o maipasa agad sa chief or any higher position of particular occurrences in his command of responsibility. Next is special reports. This is written by a police unit of office. This is a written report kapag meron lang particular work or instruction or direction na pinapagawa sa'yo ng higher police officer or yung superior mo, kung ano yung inuutos niya sa'yo. This type of reports follows the memorandum format at correspondence. This report should contain the rationale and the action. When we say rational, it is specification on details related on the problem. Yung relate lang mismo sa problem, wala kang isasama na kumbaga ibang problem na hindi naman konektado doon sa report mo on the problem. And when we say action, it is the expected action or response of the receiver on the reader will do after reading reports. The third one, beat inspection report and after patrol reports. This is the widely practiced written form of communication in a station. This is a routine report because the duty beat supervisor submits report daily. Those assigned on a beat inspection do their routine check on foot, while those in patrol sectors use patrol cars. These reports use the memorandum format. Sabi dito ay routine report. Ano nga ba yung routine report? Ibig sabihin, madalas itong ginagawang report, madalas na ito yung ina-apply. Pag sinabi nating beat inspection and patrol, after patrol reports, ito yung mga paggawa ng reports kadalasan ng mga patrol officer na kung saan pagtapos nila, after they conduct ng foot patrol, sector patrol, automobile patrol, kung ano man ang nagawa at nangyari doing this patrolling, gagawa sila ng sinasabi nating beat inspection report and after patrol reports. Ngayon sa 4, next part. Next, wanted person report. Using the notice on wanted person, this reports about the person who are wanted by the police. Obviously, kailangan gumawa ka ng wanted report kapag may wanted na pag wanted yung person na ito. Isang tao na kailangan mong hanapin at siyempre, kailangan mo rin siyang huliin. Ano nga ba ang nakalagay dito sa wanted person report? Nakalagay dito yung information, yung identification of this person, nitong taong wanted, na kung saan ipinapakilala natin sa local and national television, as well as posted in conspicuous areas as a notice to the public. Bakit nga ba kailangan pa ito i-flash o ipakita? Siyempre, para mas mabilis yung paghahanap natin, para mas mabilis yung pag-conduct natin ng operation, for us para makatulong sa atin, mahanap agad ito at mahuli. Para matuntun itong wanted person. 5, arrest report. This is a report that documents all the events in arresting. Lahat ng mga pangyayari while you are arresting a suspect, including personal identification of suspect, jail booking, information about control and release of prisoners, and court proceedings. This report is based on in-person. This report is information about control and release of prisoners and court proceedings. This report is based on information received, ensuring probable cause for warrant or warrantless arrest. Crime report. These are reports will make after the conclusion or the preliminary investigation that the crimes truly happened. These reports also include the important factors like corpus delicti, or the body of the crime, or the elements of the crime, the suspect description, properties taken, evidence collected, property damage, victim injuries, and the suspect modus operandi. Pag sinabi nating preliminary investigation, this is an investigation conducted by prosecutor. Kapag nasabi na doon na meron talagang conclusion ng preliminary investigation or ng isang prosecutor, saka ka lang gagawa ngayon ng tinatawag nating crime report. 7 situation reports. It is also known as SIREP. Itong uri ng report na to, ito yung is a form of status report in that provides decision makers and readers a quick understanding of our current situation. Ito yung uri ng report na kailangan specific. Dapat direkta mong sinasabi. Wala yung tipong walang paligoy-ligoy, di mo napapahabain pa. Kung ano lang yung gusto mong sabihin, yun lang. Huwag mo nadagdagan pa na, kasi kadalasan naman ng iba kaya dinadagdagan para masabi na talagang marami kang nalalaman. Kung ang sabihin mo lang yung mismong specific, maintindihan na agad yun kasi may mga superior tayo na kung saan busy ang mga yan eh. Tapos magbabasa pa sila ng mahaba. Baka di na nila ituloy yan, baka yaan na lang nila yan. Kaya yun, sabihin mo agad kung ano gusto mo sabihin para matapos agad. It provides a clear, concise understanding of the situation, focusing on meaning or context in addition to the facts. For example, ikaw, isang military, ngayon nagkaroon ng gera sa inyo. So, situation report, sasabihin mo kung anong sitwasyon nararanasan nyo dun. Direkta kung ano yung sitwasyon mo, nasan kayo, ano yung kailangan para mas mabilis malaman at maintindihan ng isang leader o ng nakikinig at para makapag-desisyon agad sila kung ano nga ba pwede nilang maitulong at maibigay sa'yo na nakabase, depende sa sitwasyon na sasabihin mo. Kung ano lang talaga yung nararanasan mo na sa sitwasyon, kagera nga. Siyempre, sasabihin mo kung ano lang yung mga sitwasyon na kailangan para yung isang leader nyo or any group na tutulong sa inyo, alam kung ano yung gagawin, kung ano yung kailangan. Next, miscellaneous incident report. This is also known as MI report, na kung saan ito yung report na ginagamit o ginagawa any incident and situation or any circumstances but not crime or may not be designated by a particular title. The purpose of these reports is simply to maintain the integrity of department reporting system. 9 traffic, next part 9, the traffic accident report. This report is written by the officer who investigates the incident. This type of report documents all the facts and information about any vehicular accident, whether it is fatal or non-fatal. Fatal or non-fatal. Pag sinabi nating fatal, malala yung pangyayari. Pag sinabi naman nating non-fatal, di naman ganun masyado kalala. Katulad sa fatal na malayo talaga yung difference nilang dalawa. This also examines the nature of the damage of any property, the location of the accident, and its cause. Included in these types of reports are statement of witnesses, diagrams, and photographs of the crime scene ng particular area kung saan nangyari yung traffic accident. Doon lang magkakaroon ng, kumbaga yun dyan sa mga photograph of the crime scene, doon lang sila mismo magpo-focus sa particular area na kung saan nangyari yung incident. Hindi na sila pipwesto pa sa iba. Then the investigation report. An investigation report is written to investigate a particular case or crime. Ibig sabihin, gumagawa ka lang ng investigation report kapag meron kang iniimbestiga na kaso ini-investigate. And this report, an investigation report is written to investigate particular case or crime. This report is important in court proceeding. The prosecutor's office can use this in filing appropriate cases, while the court can use this for minor offense and for determining whether the accused is guilty or innocent. Investigator writes an investigation report to achieve these objectives for record leads and prosecution. Next part. Classification of report. So we are here the three. The first one is the initial or advanced report. Ito yung mga, wait lang. This is an advanced information on a new or fresh case assigned to an investigator. So, ito yung mga information na kung saan bago lang yung case, fresh case na inassign sa'yo bilang isang investigator. So the data of this report is not yet complete kasi nga ginagathered pa lang eh. Kumbaga, ginagathered pa lang yung mga information, yung facts, mga evidence, and you're going to write. Kailangan ilagay ito agad-agad, immediately, and submitted after the preliminary investigation of the case. Para, syempre, mas maganda yung, kumbaga, hanggat maaga, magawan mo na siya ng report para maayos din natin agad, magawan na rin natin ng another investigation na kung saan maayos natin agad yung incident na nangyari, which is the progress report. This is a written narration of facts developed by the investigator in this course of the follow investigation. This is a report and subsequent details which are very vital to the case but not been incorporated in an initial report. This report should be submitted within those days after initial report has been submitted and consequently a monthly report. Pag sinabi nating progress report, di ba nga ang initial, advance report, ito yung pangunahing report na kumbaga ginagawa when you are conducting investigation. So this is the first part na kailangan nating gawin. Dahil nga fresh pa lang yung case eh. So yung initial na yung bahala doon na kung saan nakapaloob dito yung mga unang information at mga facts na nag-gathered mo in conducting investigation. Ngayon, dito sa progress report, kapag may mga nag-gathered ka ng bagong evidence, for example, mga bagong tao na connected, may witness pala sa nakakitang pangyayari, may mga tao na kung saan tumulong. Diba? Yung mga nadagdag na mga tauhan, dito ngayon yun papasok sa progress report, yung mga na-gathered mong another information. So, gagawa ka doon ng progress report investigation mo. At pag gumawa ka nito, syempre hindi mo babaguhin o iibahin yung initial. Dadagdagan mo lang. Kumbaga, yung initial na yun, okay na yun. So pag may mga nadagdag na information sa progress, idagdag mo lang yun. Hindi mo kailangan baguhin yun na pag-assign na lang. Kasi kasama yun dun eh. Nadagdagan mo lang eh. Para i-improve and then ma-improve yung report nyo. And then the progress report must be submitted 3 days after mo i-submit yung initial report. And then, pag hindi ka pa tapos mag-conduct ng investigation, dahil nga sa progress pa din ang information mo monthly, may mga sa progress mo, halimbawa, hindi mo pa rin matapos-tapos. Kumbaga araw-araw may updates, araw-araw may mga information na dumarating sa iyo, may mga nadadagdag pa rin, hindi mo matapos. So ang mangyayari monthly, magsasubmit ka ng report mo. You need to submit your report immediately kung tapos mo na. And then the lastly, final report. Pag complete na ang lahat, yung talagang okay na lahat, solid, wala na talagang kulang. Kumbaga, lahat ng mga evidence na nag-gather mo doon sa kaso, gagawa ka na ng final report eh. Nandun na lahat ng evidence, nandun na lahat ng mga sagot sa tanong, nandun na lahat. Ang final report is a complete written narration of facts based on excuse me, from a to investigation of the case. This is a result of evaluation. Ito yung mga magiging resulta. Ano pa ba yung mga summation and analysis of all facts and circumstances of this case? And the complete accumulation and a collection of data. Kumbaga, dito lahat tapos na. Complete na, wala ka nang hahanapin pa, nandito na lahat. Oh. At idadagdag dito muna makikita kung ano yung possible na resulta ng final report mo. Masasabing closed na ba, dismissed na ba yung kaso, o tuloy pa rin dahil meron pa rin umaapila. So that, syempre, pag close na to, pag na-dismiss na dahil nga success na yung ginawa mong report, so okay na, wala nang problema. So, excuse me. So that are the 3 classification of report under investigation report. So next, chapter 3.
Chapter 3, Police Blotter. Next, please. Police Blotter. The General Headquarters of Philippine National Police issue circular number 005 on December 10, 1992, entitled Prescribing a Uniform Police Blotter on the Philippines Police. This circular mandated the different police office and units in the country to follow the said from usage of police blotter. Next, please. What is police blotter? The PNP manual defines police blotter as a logbook that contains daily registry of all crime incident report, official summaries of arrest, and other significant event reported in a police station. Sabi dito, when we say a police blotter, lahat na nangyayari ng mga insidente or mga summary of arrest o any kind of event basta ni-report sa isang police station, nilalagay ito sa police blotter. At present, the PNP maintain an e-blotter to facilitate a more efficient electronic blotter system for recording crimes incident across the country. It does not only facilitate crime documentation and modernize data storage but also present accuracy in crime data documentation. So ngayon, meron tayong tinatawag na technology which is pwede natin ilagay yung mga complaint o yung mga report na ini-report sa police station. Dahil sa electronic blotter sa computer na diretso. Police blotter in PNP circular number 05 is defined as a daily record of events within the juris of police unit. It's contain daily materials concerning events for legal and satisfy purpose. The police blotter should answer the 5 Ws and 1H and disposing of the case. Ayun yung nilalaman ng police blotter. The police handbook of measuring in 12 inches by 16 inches. Printed in front cover the name of designation of the district station, the number of book number, the series number, and the period covered. The police blotter entry should answer the who, what, where, why, what, how, and the position of the case. Next, please. Procedure for making blotter entries. Number 1. All entries in police blotter should be handwritten in a clear, concise, and sample manner, but most answer as far as practicable the 5 Ws and 1H. Clarity should not be sacrificed for brevity. Dito, kailangan naman ng handwritten yung gagawin natin pagsulat ng police blotter at ito dapat ay malinis, maiksi, briefly, kumbaga ay simple manner, but must answer as far as practicable the 5W and 1H. Number 2. Only facts of opinion are entered in police blotter. Dito, hindi pwedeng mga judgment o sarili mong opinion sa police blotter. It's very important na totoong nangyayari. 3. No erasure should be made of entries. Corrections are made by drawing a horizontal line over such a word or phrase and the actual entry entailed by the police officer making the correction. Dito naman, no erasure. Tandaan sa pag nagkaroon ng pagkakamali sa pag-entry natin sa police blotter, kapag binura, isang straight line lang sa ibabaw ng word kung saan ka nagkamali, and sa tabi nun, ilalagay mo na ang tama na ilalagay mo. Number 4. A ball pen with blue and black ink is used for making entries. Dito naman, wag mo gamitin na kung ano-anong kulay na ballpen sa pagsulat ng police blotter. It's their blue or black. Number 5. Misinterpretation of the police of the blotter or any attempt to suppress any information is punishable criminally, and all entries must be legibly written in long hand and consecutively numbered. Number 6. All entries must be legibly written in longhand and consecutive. Number 7. Number 6 muna tayo. Dito naman, sunod-sunod ang entry number sa police blotter at doon makikita ang mga event or insidente. 7. Every page of police blotter should be consecutively or chronological filled in number line or space should be blank between any two entries. Dito, importante, pag nagsusulat tayo ng police blotter at tapos na ang gumagawa, hindi pwedeng mag-iwan tayo ng malaking space ng blanco dahil baka dugtungan nila or lagyan ng iba pa. Next. Number 8. Any development of a case reflected in the police blotter should be a new entry at the time and day it was responded at a reference to previous entry number of the case. However, should be made. Number 9. During every shift, the duty sergeant under the supervision of the duty officer or complaint desk officer should be signed the blotter. Next, please. Unit required and accountability of police blotter. Units required and accountability of police blotter. Dito naman, a police blotter should be maintained a police station. All PNP operation unit division in the Metropolitan Police District together with the station and substation should maintain a separate blotter. The General Headquarters PNP should supply police blotter to each PNP command reflecting the same as accountable items on their property books. It is responsibility of the PNP units commander properly maintain, use, save, and account to police blotter. Police force should be contained the present police blotter, provide the forms and rules should be followed. Next, please. Dito naman yung mga yung sample ng format of police blotter. Pag gagawa ng entry, syempre, una lalagay mo 1. Yung date na pinangyarihan. Kung kailan nangyari, kung ano. Yung time naman kung anong oras na nangyari yung insidente. Events or incidents. Yung anong alleged shooting incident example. On this time and date, turn over to this office by SPO1 Joseph Andrew A. Additional guidelines and procedure. As mandated is a standard operating procedure number 2012-001, date March 26, 2001. PNP adopts a uniform and standard procedure on how to enter in the police blotter so that the service offered by the police records complaint in the police blotter should be done in the most efficient fast and accurate means. The following guidelines and procedures should be observed in entering complaints and recording data of the same in the police blotter. Dito naman, the following guidelines or procedure, pamamaraan na kailangan natin i-obserba sa pag-i-intern sa complainant at paano natin i-record lahat ng mga data na ibinibigay ng complaint sa police blotter. Next, please. Incident reporting and filing out of incident record form. Number 1, the incident record form. An should not be duped police blotter book. The facts and information a blotter entry should at first recorded in the incident record from a IRF. Once it is signed and acknowledged by the desk officer and the chief of police or his representative, the data that were provided the complainant or client in the IRF should be interned and recorded in the police blotter book. Dito naman, hindi dinedirekta muna ilalagay lahat ng incident sa isang police blotter book. It means bago muna ilagay sa police blotter book, importante may record muna natin lahat ng facts information sa IRF or incident record form. 2. Duty of QCL officer. As soon as a or complainant enters of the police station, in this accented that his purpose is to file a complaint or the request of record in a data, the police blotter. Duty of office of the quality service lane, QCL must accord the client with due respect and quality as the person, the nature of this transaction in incident record form. IRF should made available to client. Dito naman, anytime na may papasok sa station, agad tatanungin na kung bakit siya pumunta ng station. Next. Number 3, office space for clients. The OSL duty officer should at all times guide and assist the client in filling out the form in the event that the client is illiterate or incapacitated to fill out of IRF. The QCL duty officer should do the same for him. The chief of police of the station should make available a space in the police station where this process is done in the privacy outside the security of KB sir. Dito naman sa mga client o complainant na hindi marunong o masyadong hindi nila naiintindihan kung anong ibig sabihin na pinipilapan nila, yung desk officer na yung mag-a-assign na siya yung mag-a-assign na kung ano yung mapipilapan nila. Number 4, confidential report. Whenever the subject of the complainant involves confidentiality as a cases involving protection of women and children, the QCL duty officer should be escort the client to the female duty investigator of the Women and Child Protection Desk, where the filing out of the IRF should be done. Will the IRF should be filled out by the complainant, the female police officer of the WCPD may assist the complainant is doing so, which the latter providing the facts and details of the case. Dito naman, confidential confidential report. Example, kung ang nag-complain about women or children protection in escort yung nag QCL or quality service lane duty officer ang complainant. Pupunta doon sa female duty investigation ng women desk, and then doon na magpipill up ng IRF. Next please. Five, information of the reporting person. The first item to be filed out in the IRF, the general information about the reporting person. It contains the name, address, occupation, and other analogous information about the reporting person. Whether she is the victim of a crime or not, it is important that this general information be taken. The object of this is to prevent an attempt of a client to mislead the police to record an event or crime that did not occur, motivated by a client desire to later get an extract of the police blotter for purpose for an insurance claim, for example, or to tarnish the person record to another person by imputing the commission of a crime by such a person, the includes of the inclusion of this home and work address and contact information will prevent this malpractice, and likewise necessary in the event that formal injury or investigation is subsequently ordered by the chief of police. Next please. Six, data of suspect. The next item in IRF is data of the suspect. There are two boxes in the items which should be indicate with a tick mark before answering the data under suspect. The first is whether there is no suspect or no crime was committed. Dito naman, halimbawa, di naman pala crime ang nangyari. Hindi mo checkan ang suspect. Example, yung nawawala lang na driver's license. Proceed ka na sa next item. Kapag may nangyari talaga na crime or incident, checkan mo yun. Next please. Completeness and correctness of data. The data in all times on the IRF should be as specific and complete as possible. The information indicated and put in the item will be a very vital tool of investigation on case, which called means the solution of crime. The indicate the client and or the QCL duty officer is given to opportunity to indicate as completely as possible any information is distinguishing features and the suspect in the space proven theory. Dito naman kailangan lahat ng ilalagay sa IRF information kumpleto at specific. Number 8, data of victim. The third item of the IRF is general information about the van. It contains the name, address, occupation, and other analogous information about the victim. Important that his general information be recorded, the objects for investigation to easily located victim and complainant during court trials in the case is filed in the court. Next.
Nine, the narrative of the incident. On the second page of the blatter form, the facts of the incident should be narrated by the complainant. It contains of the narrative of what happened, answering the 5 W, who, what, when, where, why, and 1H, how of an information report. Ito naman, dito ilalagay kung ano yung mga narration na nangyari sa pagsagot sa pamamagitan ng 5W and 1H. Tapos, importance of signature. It is a necessary and mandatory requirements that at the end of the narration of every incident, the duty officer who recorded the incident shall place his her signature and complainant certifying the correctness of the narration. Likewise, the last line of the paper should be indicate that nothing follow. Ito, yung signature na kailangan kung tama yung yung pinagsusulat o lahat ng nilagay doon sa IRF. Tapos lalagay doon sa may baba yung nothing to follow. Next, please. Next. Ito. Incidents record transaction receipt. After the form is authenticated, an incident record transaction receipt cut from the lower of the IRF is given to the complainant who confirms that the reporting. Ito yung sa baba ng IRF, yung may pinupunit doon tapos sa inyong ibibigay doon sa may complainant, parang resibo niya. Tapos 12, maintenance of the official police blotter for purposes of standardization. All stations should only maintain an official police blotter and official police blotter IRF. As such, it is discouraged and is henceforth unauthorized that logbook, notebook, and other materials be used. Dito, ito yung lahat ng station dapat may ma-maintain nila yung mga standard kagaya ng logbook. Yan yung notebook para doon sa nagamit sa police blotter sa mga nagre-report. 13. Turn over to police investigator. Thereafter, it is the duty of the police officer who in charge of the police blotter to lodge the complaint to the proper investigator who will handle the case. The investigator should interview the complainant on the nature of this complaint and ensure that all entries therein are complete to prevent duplication and relieve the complainant for repeating his narration. Next, please. 14. Supporting documents. Check the necessary documents in support of the complaint if needed. If there are documents submitted, the same shall be attached and will form part of the IRF. Ito yung yung mga documents na sumusuporta doon sa kaso na magiging parte ng IRF. Tapos, accuracy of report. Make sure that all the information gathered is truthful and exact in its documentation. Tapos, 16, amendment to the report. In the event that the complainant desired to or make supplemental on his complaint, the investigator shall be informed the officer in charge of the blotter to make the necessary correction and state therein that amend or supplement to previous report and shall place the signature both of the complainant and the officer in charge of the blotter. Next, please. Ito yung yung isa, ito yung authentic, one. One, manual recording of the crime incident report from the IRF to the police blotter. The crime incident report recorded in IRF after the transaction with the reporting person has conducted shall be transcribed and entered into the police blotter by desk officer of the police station. For those though as the blotter, designated register and register. This station will be crime incident reporting system, popularly known as e-blotter. The signed register will be likewise enter the record into the system. Ito yung blotter na mauna muna sa logbook yung blotter tapos isusunod na dun sa may e-blotter para ma-connect dun sa system ng computer. Tapos importance of the police blotter. Blotter entry reports serve as the permanent record of incidents, events, problem, and so forth. Are many types of reports, each of which serve different function. All police blotter is used to keep informed of activities within the police jurisdiction. It is also used to compile statistical information, identify problem in community of identify police training needs. These reports are needed to facilitate investigation, prepare court cases, and defend cases in court. Ito yung yung blotter dapat ito yung magiging permanent record na ng dito ilalagay yung mga records na nangyari ng mga incidents o problem para maitago lahat ng information na nakuha sa incidents o kahit anong kaso. Next. The record narrative form. It is prudent, however, to list down some necessary information in the police blotter in itemized or outline form. This shall be answer necessary requirements of 5Ws and 1H. Ito yung guidelines na basic guidelines na sasagutin sa pamamagitan yung next. The following question should be answered by guides to written the reports. Who was involved? Write down the names of all those who were involved in the incidents, victim, suspect, witness, and whosoever may be listed and present during the incident may be present but was not incident. There is nothing to lose but all gain. Ito yung sa who was involved, dapat kailangan mong makuha lahat ng information dun sa nangyaring insidente, kagaya ng pangalan ng mga victim, suspect, tapos yung mga witness. Tapos sabi naman, when did it take place? Be precise as much as possible in indicating the time and date of the incidents. Ito yung sabi, dapat alam mo yung specific time o date kung kailan nangyari yung incident. Tapos sa C, where did it take place? Describe in details. Where the incident occurred, in the master's bedroom of 2-story break house in 1231 Luna Street, Villa Jose Subdivision, San Roque. Dito, specific dapat yung pagsasabi ng mga ng nangyari at yung lugar kung saan nangyari, dapat kompleto lahat ng information na ibibigay mo dun sa investigation, sa nag-iimbestiga. Next. Ito, what did happen? The police report sometimes indicate the crime committed based on the Rios penal code, like murder or homicide initial report, which will be subjected to true investigation. This is not necessary. In the above example, the report of shooting incident may be sufficient. It is the job of the investigator or case to determine what crime was committed. What is important is to prevent the detailed circumstance of what happened. Why did it happen? The pitfall of coming to a conclusion at this early is always by the police responder. The why answer a question among other as to the motive of incident. It is necessary to parse down and detail all that were allied by the victim, suspects, and witness. Dito nakalagay dapat yung dito sa why did it happen, dito nakalagay lahat ng kung ano yung motibo ng suspect do sa nangyari sa biktima. Tapos next please. Tapos how did it happen? The narrative on how the incidents happen shall be indicated to show the description of the chronological of event that led to the incidents and all the circumstances thereof. The action taken during the initial investigation at the scene shall also be included. This shall include the weather, lightning, sounds, and activities in the vicinity of the incident. A description of the circumstances prevailing before, during, and after the incident, and all other peculiar details that come to the senses of the trained police responder. This is no limit to what it includes in the how portion of the narrative. Tapos, affixing signature and contact details. As soon as the incident versus transcribed in the police letter, the desk officer and the reporting person shall sign in the police letter. It should be indicated under the name and signature of the reporting person, his address, telephone number, mobile phone number, and identification card presented in the event that the reporting person indicates that he does not want his contact details to be recorded in the public record as the police blotter by reason of privacy. The sum should be not be recorded as a matter of respect to the said person right, but still should be however indicated in the arrest. Ito yung sa yung fixing signatures and contact details. Ito yung signature ng ng complainant. Tapos yung mga contact details niya, kung saan siya nakatira, yung pangalan, address, yung lugar ilalagay sa Next. Penal clause. Any violation of this sub shall be dealt with the administrative may be warranted by evidence. All units commanders should be included in the investigation under the principal command responsibility. If evidence further warrant, criminal complaints shall also be filed against those who may have committed acts of omission to the revised penal code of any penal state status. Next.
Chapter 4. Administrative issuance. Administrative issuance are orders or directives written by a person in authority to his subordinate. These provide objectives, program, and police prescribing methods and procedures that in turn affect the organization. Some of the most common issuance are memorandum, memorandum circular, circular of office, order, special order, and standard operating procedure. Each of is discussed below. Memorandum. The national headquarters of the Philippines issuance letter, directive number 950926, dated October 27, 1995, on the format and use memorandum in police radio message. The purpose of this directive is to prescribe the basic guidelines and standard regarding the preparation of written communication, particularly memorandum and letters. This also prescribe the formats of the PNP written communicate to be consistent with current standards and acceptability. Ang inaasa sa memorandum, tawag dito, pag gagawa tayo ng format na memorandum, may proper na format na paggawa ng memorandum para ma-apply yung consistency or proper standard sa paggawa ng written letters. Memorandum is an inter-office dealing with official matters in the police organization. Its message is written in the fewest possible words. A memorandum is application requiring compliance or dissemination of information of the officer and members of the organization. Sa memorandum, hindi na kailangang pahabain pa yung words sa parts of memorandum. Parang diretso na dapat. Okay na. Next. Parts of memorandum, headings. This contains the date, subject, through channel, and addressee. Tinagala mo ng mga date, yan, subject. Letterhead. Every police with or office has its own letterhead where it's usually printed on the first page. Yung sa letterhead, included dito yung logo ng police unit Tsaka nakalagay dito yung is yung sa unang-una yung Republic of the Philippines, as pangalawa Department of the Interior and Local Government, National Police Commission, tapos kung saan yung lugar nyo. Bawa, Laguna Police Provincial Office, tapos yung saan yung pinaka-city nun. Los Baños, Los Baños Police Station. Yun. Addressee, the words memorandum for is used if sent to a superior office sa memorandum to if sounds to sends to subordinate. This address is yung nagbibigay ng letter mula sa subordinates. Bawa, yung sa POR, kung ang pagbibigyan mo yung mas mataas sa'yo, yung to naman kung subordinate mo o mas mababa sa'yo. As attention line, this is mainly for faster dissemination memorandum may be addressed to a specific individual or head of unit by the use of a specific symbol. For the faster dissemination, pwedeng address specific o individual. Hilario.
So yun, additional lang sa letterhead, kasama din yung picture or logo ng PNP at saka yung logo ng office na pinagawa ng police report, no? So next subject, this is a written 2 space below the sender and 2 spaces to the right colon. It should be contain no more than 10 words. So sa subject, kailangan hindi daw lalagpas sa 10 words. So example nun, sa subject, kunyari spot report, no? Spot report of allegedly shooting incident. Sa progress report naman, ganun lang din. Progress report of allegedly shooting incident. So ganun lang yon. So date, this, the place, below the subject indicating when the memorandum is written. So kung talagay doon kung kailan mo sinulat yung police report. Sa body naman, this message of memorandum is double space when the message is less than 9 lines. So example nun, yung sa 1, no? Reference. So kailangan yun, hindi na kailangan i-double spacing yun kasi di naman siya lagpas ng 9 lines. So sa number 2 nun, brief of the facts. Sama dito yung date, time, place ng pinangyarihan. Tapos kasama din dito sa body yung kung yung naging ustisya ng suspect, no? Complementary ending. This is the originator name found 5 space below the last paragraph of the body of the message, no? Yung complementary ending, ito, kung sino yung nagsulat, lalagay mo dun sa pinakababa, no? 5 space below the last paragraph of the message, no? Lalagay mo dun, kunyari ako, Chief Ortega, Daryl H. Then, lagay doon, senior police, ganyan-ganyan. Tapos, lagay pirma, no? So, next. Ayan, memorandum circulars, also termed as MC in the government office. Memorandum circular have subject that explain or classify rules and regulation for subordinate, no? Ito ginagamit to ng mga government office or ito yung ginagamit nila para explain or classify nila yung rules and regulation ng kanilang office, no? Para sa mga subordinate o nakakababa sa kanila, no? Circulars, ito ginagamit to, nag-i-issue nito yung DILG to binababa nila sa kanilang basta PNP and BJMP tsaka BFP, no? Binababa nila to doon. These are administrative instruction that are directive advisory and information. The signatory is the department secretary and mostly deals with deal sila sa mga subject like delegation of authority and instruction or rules and regulation to be implemented. So nakalagay dito kung ano yung i-implement nila, no? So 4, office circulars. These are administrative instruction required requiring compliance from personnel of office dealing with the subject like delegation of authority, appointment or assignment of personnel, no? Office orders. These are administrative instruction that are regulatory and mandatory. This is order mainly for the regulation of administrative matters in national headquarters, no? Ito yung binababa nila, no, galing sa mga national headquarters, regional and provincial district offices, no? These are deals usually with the subject like personal conduct requiring compliances, no? Sunod. Special orders. These are directives signed by the chief of directional staff, no? Ito yung na-point nila na kung kailangan nila mag-transfer ng isang police o magpo-promote sila ng isang police or magde-degrade sila ng isang police o papababa nila yung rango ng isang police, no? Or magle-leave yung isang police, no? So sunod, SOP or Standard Operating Procedures. This instruction to be followed on a routinary basis concerning regular procedure that the chief of the police directorate directs this, no? Yung SOP lang yan yung kailangan nilang araw-arawin yung routine nila sa papasok ka ng headquarters, kailangan naka full uniform, syempre kailangan planchado, malinis, naka-cap, ganon. Tapos yun lang. Thank you. Chapter 5.
Chapter 5, Classification and Investigative Report. So, itong Chapter 5, may ibang part na kung saan diniscuss na siya kanina. Sa Chapter 2 doon sa may diniscuss ko, mga definition. So, ano nga ba yung mga tatlo na classification ng investigative reports? We have initial or advanced report, progress of follow-up report, and the final report. Pag sinabi nating initial, ito yung mga pangunahin o panimulang pagkakandak or pagkikreate ng mga report. This is an advanced report to a fresh case. Yan yung mga bagong case of an investigator. The data in this report is not yet complete. Kasi nga, pangunahin pa lang. So, pag sinabi nating initial, ito yung mga information or yung mga facts na nagamit sa pag-investigate sa unang araw pa lang. Kumbaga, kung ano pa lang yung mga nasaksihan mo, yun pa lang yung mga i-investigahan mo. Kung ano pa lang yung mga una mong nakita. So, hindi pa siya kompleto. Ito yung itong mga na-investigate mo, kinakailangan, masubmit mo na rin siya mismong araw kung ano yung nakandak mong information sa incident na nangyari. Kailangan masubmit mo na rin siya agad. Next pa. So, points to remember in writing initial and advanced report. So dito, we used to remember sa paggawa ng writing in initial and advanced report. Paragraph 1 is the introductory paragraph of an initial report. So dito sa paragraph 1, halimbawa may reference kang pinagkuhaan. So yung introductory mo is yung reference, which is the police blotter. But kung wala namang reference sa initial, like on spot, kumbaga on the spot create create investigation, kumbaga wala kang pinagbasihan na reference number kung sa kumbaga biglang may na-create ka na lang na mga information agad-agad. Ang magiging introductory mo is the TDPO o meaning time, place, date, or occurrences. So the second bullet, the object of the introductory paragraph is the point out to the reader that is statement of the objective and subjective of the report. So dito sa second bullet, ang point nito, kumbaga para malaman at makita mo kung ano ba mismo yung reason, ano ba yung dahilan o yung object bakit nag-create ng report. At ano yung dapat magpapatuloy ito kung ano yung subject mo or kung ano ba yung nilalaman ng letter mo. Kumbaga continuous lang sa mga statement na ibibigay mo sa mga information na naka-conduct mo on that incident. While in next, after presenting the introductory paragraph, that report will proceed with paragraph number 2, narrating the facts gathered in course of the ongoing investigation. So after presenting the introductory paragraph, kapag na-present mo na yung introductory paragraph mo, mag-proceed ka na agad Kumbaga, magpapatuloy ka na agad sa paragraph 2. You will going to narrate those information you conducted already. Next. Next yun dito, ano pala to Kumbaga, may explain din ako dito na part doon sa una. So, dito, yun sa may letterhead, ang pinaka magbabago lang dito is yung sa may, of course, sa subject. Kung yung una, initial or advance report, dito naman sa subject na to, syempre, mag-move ka na sa progress, yun na ilalagay mong subject. Then sa date, halimbawa sa initial, 22 ang date natin. So dito, within 3 days after, ang lalagay na natin sa date. Kasi yung progress report natin, 3 days after yung araw bago ipasa mo agad to. So magiging 25 na siya. Next part. Sa may reference din pala, halimbawa sa initial mo, ang nakalagay Ang nakalagay dyan yung alleged shooting incident. So sa naman, sa may progress, ang magiging reference mo na lang doon is yung ang magiging reference mo na lang doon yung shooting incident. Kasi kumbaga, napatunayan mo na sa progress na ito talaga yung nangyari sa shooting. Kasi sa initial, hindi ka pa sure Kung ano pa lang yung nakita mong pangyayari, yun pa lang sinulat mo. Sa progress report, na-develop na o nadagdagan na yung facts, yung information na kung saan kaya mo nang patunayan kung ano talaga yung dapat na ilagay doon sa mismong pangyayari nangyari sa incident. Sa 2, progress report and follow-up report. This is a written narration of facts developed by the investigator in the course of the follow-up investigation. This is a report on subsequent details which are very vital to the case but have not been incorporated in the initial report. So, siyempre, yung nandyan na yung development of information and facts, dito magkakaroon ng pagbabago. Magkakaroon ng additional references sa spot report mo na unang ginawa. Ito yung mga madedevelop na madadagdagan na yung facts or information, yung mga sinabi ko nga katulad kanina. So, in the follow-up investigation, kaya nga tinawag itong progress report and follow-up report dahil nga magkakaroon ng pagbabago. Ito lang yung mga additional information na dapat doon sa initial report, hindi babaguhin yung mga sinabi mong initial. Kumbaga, idadagdag mo lang din kung ano yung mga bagong may pasok mo. Wait lang. Points to remember in writing the progress report. 1. In the progress report, the statement of the object or the subject. 2. OD, the report is changed. Example, subjected spot report, alleged shooting incident, subject progress report, shooting to death of Juan de la Cruz Casimiro of Barangay San Pedro, Bulacan. So sa may spot report mo, di ba nakalagay dan yung alleged shooting incident. Yun yung nakalagay sa may spot report, sa initial mo, sa advance report. So while in progress, magkakaroon ng pagbabago yan. Magiging reshooting incident na lang. Wala nang alleged because sure na, sigurado na shooting talaga yung nangyari dahil nga nadagdagan yung information mo na-prove mo na na ito talaga yung nangyari, yung based sa may na-conduct mo na facts. So sa progress, nilagay mo na agad doon, shooting to death of Juan de la Cruz Casimiro of Barangay San Pedro, Bulacan. Next. Next pa. Ayan yun, yan yung example nun. Next part. Three. For administrative purposes, the case number is not mentioned an original number assigned by every new fresh cases throughout the investigation until it is solved. Or 3. Report progresses through the follow-up investigations done by investigator. So dyan sa may 4, lahat ng mga new information, lahat ng mga bagong na conduct mo regarding doon sa report or initial to progress report, ini-include mo na rin. Halimbawa, example sa may initial report is yung are recommended, example, are recommended on autopsy examination. For example, nag ka ng recommendation para dun sa may examination, sa may autopsy. For example, the caliber of the victim. Pagdating sa progress, kailangan meron ka nang maibigay na resulta based doon sa may autopsy examination, sa may caliber. Kumbaga, kung ano yung nalaman talaga na dahilan, yung kinamitay nitong victim. So dito natin may include muna dito sa facts of the case or doon sa other facts of the case ng report mo at ilalagay mo na doon kung ano yung naging resulta talaga. Once na nakita mo na yung result doon sa may examination na ibibigay nga sa'yo, so pwede mo na isulat yun agad doon na sa may final report mo. Isusulat mo na yung facts of the case na nangyari, na nalaman mo. So yun.
Pre, babalik nga ako sa spot report. Pabalik nga ako, pre. Pabak. So, dito tayo sa spot report. Reference police blotter entry number 001, page 0001, dated October 22, 2020. Resubject same as above. So, dito tayo sa spot report. Dito kasi sa spot report, kumbaga dito ako kumukuha ng mga dito, kunwari, halimbawa may nangyari na krimen. Dito magkakanda ka na agad ng dito. Kumbaga yung mga basic information, halimbawa kung kailan nangyari yung krimen at kung sino ang naka-witness, ganyan. At kung anong dito, kung saang lugar nangyari ang krimen. Tapos dito naman sa progress report, reference police blotter entry number 001, page 001, dated October 22, 2020. Resubject same as above. Spot report dated 22 October 22, 2020. Resubject as above. Dito naman sa progress report, dito naman pumapasok yung ayun na nga nangyari ng spot report. Sa progress report naman, dito na gumugulong yung halimbawa yung kaso. Dito nadadagdagan yung mga information na nangyari sa sa krimen. So dito ka na maglalagay ng progress report kasi dito kasi sa progress report alam mo na kung ano nangyari, na napatunayan mo na magaya nga nito may shooting incident. Kumaga dito pa lang sa progress report, alam mo na kung anong kumaga shooting incident talaga yung nangyari. Dito naman sa final report, police blotter entry number 001, page 0001, dated October 2020. Resubject same as above. Spot report dated 2020 October 22. Resubject as above. Progress report reshooting to death of Juan de la Cruz Casimiro of Barangay San Pedro, Bulacan, dated October 25, 2020. So dito naman sa final report, 3 araw pagkatapos ng progress report, dito pwede ka na halimbawa mahuli ng yung suspect. Dito mo na ilalagay yung pinaka final report na kung ano yung naikaso sa kanya at kung anong nangyari sa case na yun. So next.
Sa naman next pa, pre. Next pa.
Hello, ako muna, Henry.
Yeah.
Ako muna. Diyan sa final report, complete to written narration of facts based from a true investigation of the case. This is a result of evaluation, summation, and analysis of all facts and circumstances of the case and the complete circumstances and collection of data. The charge sheet is followed by the final report, as the name suggests. That refers to that a document which record the conclusion arrived by the police after investigation. Diyan sa final report, sabi nga ni Kem kanina, diyan na ilalagay lahat ng facts or mga detalye na pinakahuli. Halimbawa ko dito yung mga taong na nakagawa na ng crime, or sila ba ay nahuli or nakulong. Diyan may papasok yung final report. At hindi lang basta final report, hindi lang basta shooting incident ang pwedeng maipasok diyan. Pwede din yung mga krimen na meron talagang katulad ng murder or homicide. Our next, Henry Mansala.
Points to remember in writing the final report. The final report bears the Marl case solved and closed. Dyan sa kaso na yan, dapat meron ka ng final report kung anong mga nangyari, tapos mga kaso, kung may nahuli na ba o may naikulong. At sa final report na yan, dapat meron ng shooting incident tsaka meron ng kaso. Sabay, the heading as same letterhead, paragraph present the original facts of the case. At dito naman sa letterhead, pare-parehas lang sila ng mga case number, tas case TDPO of the nature of the crime. Same lang silang lahat, walang pagbabago. Sabay, the body as the main content of the report and related facts. Diyan naman sa body of the main content, kung ano yung mga contents na nilagay mo doon sa progress reports, yun pa rin dapat yung ilalagay mo sa content mo sa final report. Tapos sa about the crime and final sequence of event are unfolded here. Sabay, the ending as usual, administrative data like the signature of the report, writer the official endorsement of the section. Dyan yung ano, yung natapos mo na yung ano, final report, tapos na.
Legal forms are prototypes of any documents or forms in a usual legal transaction or judicial proceedings. These contain important matters conveyed in technical technologies and presented in a suitable and systematic order in accordance with the circumstances of any case. This could be in form of acknowledgement of injurat, affidavits, seals of realty, seals of personal property, mortgages, powers of attorney, special contracts and agreement, gratitudes and disposition, partnership and corporation and complaints in criminal case. So sabi dito, sa legal forms daw, ito daw yung iba't ibang uri ng dokumento na ginagamit sa legal transaction. Then, iba't ibang importanteng impormasyon na ginagamit sa korte. So may mga example ng ng legal forms. Gaya nga nung yung sa acknowledgement and jurat, affidavits, yung seals of realty, seals of personal property, mortgages, powers of attorney. So mamaya lahat kan i-discuss ko mamaya. Next. Legal forms are related to law enforcement. So just because we are criminology, so ito lang yung itatakal natin na types of legal forms. The following are just some examples of legal forms related to law enforcement. Sworn statements, affidavits, complaints in criminal case, and incas form. So simulan natin sa sworn statement. Sworn statement is a legal document that states facts or legal statements that are relevant to a legal proceeding or a court case. These are very similar to various types of affidavits, except that sworn statements are generally not signed, certified by the official, such as notary public. So yung affidavit, kailangan may pirma ng abogado para maging valid. Then kailangan may signature ng nagsalaysay. Kailangan ng signature ng nagsalaysay, then signature nga ng abogado para maging valid. Instead of a statement is followed by the specific paragraph at the end of the document. This paragraph usually contains the signature of the persons making a statement and makes a claim that the statement is true, is made under penalty of perjury. Sworn statements are often entered evidence for a use in a personal injury cases and various other types of legal proceedings. So mamaya may ipapakita kong yung sworn statement pala, siya yung sinumpaang salaysay sa Tagalog. So mamaya may ipapakita kong sample ng sworn statement para mas ma-elaborate na maayos. Next. Affidavit. An affidavit is a written statement from the individual which is sworn to be true. It is an oath that the individual is saying the truth, An affidavit is issued along with witness statement to prove the truthfulness of a certain statement in a court. Example of affidavits are affidavit of complaint, affidavit of desistance, affidavit of denial, affidavit of arresting officer, and affidavit of witness. Lahat yan mamaya may proper format and mga sample dyan. Mamaya ko rin ipapakita. So, dun din sa affidavit, yun nga, yung sabi na na kailangan siya, kailangan nagsasabi ka ng totoo dito. Hindi pala. Kailangan nagsasabi ka ng totoo dito kasi nga to yung may may oath mo siya na na kinakailangan totoo yung sasabihin mo. Tapos kailangan may witness para mapatunayan na totoo yung sinasabi mo sa statement na to. Next. Types of affidavits. Affidavit of complaint. Section of Rule 110 define complaint as a sworn written statement charging a person with an offense subscribed by the offended party and peace officers or public law officers charged with the enforcement on the law violated. A complaint must be filed either before the prosecutor's office court and its certain case filing of the complaint is necessary to conduct the preliminary investigation. The person who may file criminal complaint are the offended party. This is the person against whose property the crime was committed, and peace officer. This include any member of the Philippine National Police and other public officers charged with the enforcement of the law violated. This include person of the government services. Examples: authorized BIR agents, customs agent, and etc. So dun nga sa affidavit of complaint, complainant versus offended party yung involved dito. Then pwede rin yung yung mga yung authorized agent ng BIR. For example, but involve yung BIR. Kunwari may siya, may aanuhin dun sa, may hindi siya, ang tawag ito? Meron siyang complaint dun sa isa nilang Tapos, dito sa affidavit of complaint, nakasaad dito yung name ng accused, act of omission, and the offended party, then the TDPO or the time, date, place, and occurrences. Next. Affidavit of desistance. A complainant executes an affidavit of desistance when he no longer wishes to pursue a case against an accused or defendant in a court case. The complaint states that she are no longer interested in testifying or prosecuting. This is only ground for dismissing the case on the prosecution can no longer prove the guilty accused beyond reasonable doubt without testimony of the offended party. So, dito, bali na ko na to, na experience ko na tong affidavit of desistance. So, meron kasi kaming criminal case sa kapatid ko. So, yung tanging way na lang kasi nahatulan na Kumbaga may final judgment na. Then yung advice sa amin ng private attorney namin is affidavit of desistance na lang since yung complainant is patay na, then yung ibang accused party ng mga kasama ng kapatid ko is patay na din. So yung way na lang talaga doon ng affidavit of desistance. So nagkasundo na kami nagkasundo na yung asawa ng offended party, then yung kami nga kasi may na kami, 'di ba sabi ni ma'am, magiging valid lang yung affidavit of desistance kapag may kayo, may ang tawag ito sa term, may areglo. So yun. Tapos nung okay na yung affidavit of desistance, then nung isa-submit na yung affidavit of desistance sa fiscal, siya, dinisapprove, hindi daw siya Kasi 'di ba sabi dito yung i-approve lang yung affidavit of desistance kapag walang kahit anong ebidensya na nakita dun sa kahit anong nakita dun sa final. So since tumakbo ng 10 years yung case, tapos biglang nag-file yung affidavit of nag-file yung complaint ay yung nag-file yung offended party ng affidavit of desistance. Parang hindi naniwala si judge kaya parang hindi niya inano na bakit sa loob ng 10 years ngayon lang inano to. So, yun. Doon na tayo sa affidavit of arrest. Affidavit of arrest is an affidavit of arrest is a statement given under oath and penalty under perjury. This states about the facts and circumstances about the arrest, the information which led to the arrest, and the observation made after the arrest. This is filed by the arresting officers. Doon naman sa affidavit of arrest, tungkol to sa pag-aaresto, naka-indicate dito yung pangalan ng aarestuhin, bakit mo siya aarestuhin, date kung kailan mo siya aarestuhin, and observation mo sa arrest kung nanlaban ba siya, kusa siyang sumama, or else. Next. Wait, 3 pa lang. Yan pala. Affidavit of witness. An affidavit of witness is a legal or binding document or a written testimony of a witness as a way of evidence to be presented to the court. It is usually filed out by a lawyer and then filed as part of the case. The affidavit has to be in paragraph form, and each paragraph covers the specific topic. The full name of the person making up the statement has to be included, and thus the name of one who affirms of the statement. This kind of affidavit can also be used to record the testimony of an expert witness in certain cases. The affidavit has to be truthful and just give facts, not personal feelings or opinions. Doon naman sa affidavit of witness, kailangan totoo yung sasabihin mo doon. Then, yung sasabihin mo doon, pwedeng magamit siya sa evidence sa korte. Tapos, naka-indicate dito yung specific topic na yung full name ng taong nagsasalaysay, included the name of the one who affirmed the statements. Tapos sabi nga dito sa nagagamitin daw to sa pwede daw tong magamit sa korte para sa expert witness in certain cases. Tapos hindi ka pwedeng magbigay ng salaysay na tatayo kang testigo dahil lang sa personal opinions or personal feelings or may nag-utos sa iyo na ganito yung sabihin mo. Next. Inquest forms. Itong inquest form, ito yung pangatlong types ng legal forms. The Department of Justice issued Department Circular Number 61 on the new rule of the inquest. Below are some citations of the rules related to inquest. Inquest is an informal and summary investigation conducted by a public prosecutor in criminal case involving persons arrested and detained without the benefit of a warrant of arrest issued by the court for the purpose of determining whether or not the said person should remain under custody and correspondingly be charged in court. The inquest proceeding shall be considered commenced upon received by the inquest officers from the law enforcement authorities of the complaint referral documents which should include. So sabi dito, kailangan daw kapag ka mag-i-file yung inquest form, kailangan may inquest proceeding at kailangan laman nito yung affidavit of arrest, the investigation report, the statement of the complainant witness, and other supportive evidence gathered by the police in the course of the latest investigation of the criminal incident involving the arrested or detained person. Dito sa inquest form, warrantless arrest or warrantless arrest. So pwede mong gawin kung makikita mo siyang, ito yung mga pwede mong gawin kapag makikita mo siya na aarestuhin. In flagrante delicto, hot pursuit and fugitive unjusted. Then pwede kang manghuli ng accused person kung hindi mo man siya nahuli ng in flagrante delicto pero nahuli mo siya ng hot pursuit within 24 hours kasi dapat mahuli mo siya para pasok pa sa inquest proceeding para matawag na warrantless arrest. Next. Complainants in criminal cases. It is important that those who will be writing in the police report will be familiar with the forms of complaints in criminal cases, its formats and standard headings and captions of the case. The familiarization of all this will help him in his reports and in any court proceedings. These standard headings and captions are used in the Supreme Court, Court of Appeals, and Municipal Court. The sample forms of complaints included are violation of municipal ordinance, forcible abductions, arsons, damage to property through reckless imprudence, homicide, and murder. Refer to the sample below. So dito naman, dapat alam mo yung proper format ng police report. Then, proper format ng police report, tsaka yung standard format ng format ng headings and caption of the cases. Next. So, ito yung sample ng ng standard headings and caption of cases kapag ipadadala mo siya sa Supreme Courts. So, yung letterhead, Republic of the Philippines, Supreme Court, Manila. Then, yung plaintiff appellant versus defendant appellee. Next. Kapag ipadadala mo naman siya sa Court of Appeals, so Republic of the Philippines, Court of Appeals, then, ayan, yung defendant appellee, then, versus plaintiff appellee. Ito pa pala, yung in the municipal court. So, Republic of the Philippines, in the municipality court of, kunwari, Santa Maria, province of Bulacan. So, parang ganun pa rin yung sa kaganina. Yan, yung may petitioner. Next. So, ito naman yung sample forms ng complaints in criminal cases. So, if violation of municipal ordinance, ito yung format, the undersigned, name of accused, then yung nakomit niyang crime, then violation of ordinance number, series of blank, and municipality of blank. Ano lang siya, yung parang, yung sabi nga ni ma'am, para lang siya magsasagot ng fill in the blanks. Yan, tapos kailangan may witness, may pirma ng chief of police. Next. Then, parang same din sa forcible abduction. Yung the undersigned name of accused, then yung nakomit na crime. Tapos, yun din, kailangan may pirma din niya ng offended party. Same as the arson. Next. So, if damage to property through reckless imprudence, the undersigned accused, name ng akusado of the crime of the damage to property through reckless imprudence defined as the penalized under Article 365 of the Revised Penal Code, committed as follows. Ayun din, yung parang lang din. About the blank, yung date, yung month, then yung year. At around 3 o'clock in the morning at the municipality of Santa Maria, province of Bulacan. Then, yun lang din, parang yung parang yung sa iba lang din. Yung sa kanina din, yung may din, pirma din ng provincial fiscal, then may witness din. Next. Sa murder din, ganun. The undersigned accused, name ng akusado of the crime of murder, defined the penalized under Article 248 of the Revised Penal Code, committed as the follow. Yun din, yung date, atong about on, kunwari ngayon, 14 day of December 2020 in Municipality of Santa Maria, Province of Bulacan, and within the jurisdiction of this Honorable Court on the said accused while serving as the host helper in the house of for example, sa akin, Elaine De La Rosa with treachery and evident premeditation and with the great abuse of confidence. So, yun din, para may ano din, may pirma din. Kailangan lagi may pirma, then may witnesses. Next. Sample format of sworn statement. So, eto lang, meron nga akong sample dito. Ng sworn statement, question and answer. So, doon sa kailangan kapag gagawin mo yung sworn statement, malaya at pusang loob ng salaysay mo yun. Then, kinakailangan mayroong at least 2 witnesses. So, parang nakalagay dito, malaya at pusang loob ng salaysay name na ibinigay dito sa tanggapan ng name ng police station, then address ng police station, then ngayong date sa pagtatanong na ginawa yun nga, yung interviewer ng investigator sa PNP sa harap ng kaalaman then yung 2 witnesses. Kailangan laging 2 witnesses kapag gagawa ka ng sworn statement. So, affiant was apprised of her constitutional rights. So, mean to say, nalaman niya yung sinabi sa kanya yung karapatan niya bago siya tanungin sa interview na to, sa question and answer. So, for example, tanong, matapos mong mabatid ang iyong karapatan alinsunod sa umiiral na bagong saligang batas, ikaw ba ay nakahandang magbigay ng iyong malaya at kusang loob na salaysay at sumagot sa pawang katotohanan lamang na itatanong sa iyo? Sagot, opo. So, hindi nyo kasi makikita eh. So, kung mapapansin, meron siyang naka-indicate yung, kita ba? Naka-indicate yung name, nagsalaysay, then kinakailangan may pirma. So, if gumawa ka ng sworn statement and question and answer, then may pangalan nga pero walang pirma, this is considered as void or invalid. Then, kailangan meron ding, kita ba? Ayan o, yan. Ito yung pangalan ng nagsalaysay. Then, ito yung nag-interview. Yan. Next. Sample format of sworn statement. Alam ko meron din ako niyan. Yan. Sample format ng sworn statement ito. Yan. Babasahin ko. Ako si blank, then age, tapos kung anong status mo sa buhay, then kung taga saan ka, tapos basta i-indicate mo dito kung lahat ng ng information about sa iyo. Then kung mapapansin niyo dito sa sa bandang baba, nakusang loob ko tong ginawang salaysay na ito upang makatulong sa kaso na isasampa sa name laban kina blank. Kasi itong sworn statement nga, gaya nga ng sinabi ko kaganina, magagamit siya as a criminal case sa pagsasampa ng kaso. Lalo na kung iaakit sa korte, just like that, nasa korte itong case na to. So, kinakailangan din may siya, may pirma din ng may pirma nung nagsasalaysay. Then, may pirma nung nag-conduct ng question and answer. Next. Sample format of a sworn statement. So, parang yung kaganina lang din to. Na parang ito siya yung kanina kong pinakita. Kasi pa-narrative naman to. Kasi parang magkikwento lang. So, ito na ngayon yung kaganina kong pinakita sa inyo. Next. So, sample of affidavit of arrest. Diyan naman sa affidavit of arrest, ito yung joint affidavit of arrest. Kailangan dalawa kayo lagi diyan sa joint affidavit. We the, then yung name ng police, kayong dalawa, both member of the Philippine National Police, presently assigned at the, then name ng police station, then address ng police station, do hereby depose and state that. Tapos, ayan na nga, yung we are among the members of the Philippine National Police who conducted the entrapment operation at address then located along the Santa Maria, Bulacan. Located along St. Joseph College. Yan, parang sa lang din. Yung sa kaganina na lang. Sa fill in the blanks. Lahat ng di ba lagi naman natin 'to ginagawa sa pinagagawa naman. Next.
That's all, ma'am. Thank you.